Hello, welcome to another episode of the Raw Report. I'm Ryan Jackson Saw, and I am here with a One Nation candidate, Rajan. How are you, Rajan?
Not too bad. Thank you very much for inviting me for the interview.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to have someone from One Nation running, who's running in South Australia, particularly where we really need the independent candidates to be running. Which area are you running in?
At present, I am running the state elections from the electorate of Enfield.
Enfield, right. So what convinced you to run this election?
Actually, I'm here in Australia for 14 years, and since I came to Australia, I saw the Australian system is not working for Australians.
Right.
So, and I lived in Dubai for 6 years, and I've seen the system working for their own citizens.
Right.
So that's why I always want to join something and get inside the system so that I can make the system work for the Australians.
So what are the big differences that you've noticed between the way that they run things in Dubai and the way they run things here in Australia?
Here in Australia, I've seen the facilities they are providing to some of the communities. They are not providing to their own citizens. If any, say the example, if you are refugees, you are getting the house within 10 days, and for those 10 days they are keeping you in the hotels. If you are an old retiree Australian citizen, if you apply for the Australian accommodation, you are having a minimum waiting period of 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. I don't understand. I never understand that the facility we are giving to other communities, how are we not able to give to our own citizens?
It does feel like the government has deprioritized its own citizens increasingly. What do you think are some of the solutions to some of these problems that we're facing?
The thing is, the money is not used by the governments properly. Because Australia is having so much of land, and if we construct a lot of houses, then this problem shouldn't be there. Because at the moment, the house prices are rising, and because we are not having that many houses here, because we have so much of land, if we construct the houses, the problem will be solved. If the houses are more than the demand, the prices is going to drop.
Do you think that the people who are determining these policies are simply protecting their own investments of housing?
That's right. That's the main reason.
Well, there's a heavy cost to that kind of mentality, unfortunately. This generation particularly is really feeling the sting where they can't even get a rental, even with a great tenancy record and a full-time job.
That's right.
There's an increasing amount of homelessness happening. Tent living is becoming very normal for a lot of people.
That's right, because I'm surprised to see government is having a lot of different policies for different things, but they have not a single policies for the homeless people. The homeless people, Australian citizens, are living on the roads, on the playgrounds, but there is no policy. Because I'm with the organization who organizes the free meals for the people who need the food.
Right.
And they gone to the council so that if it's possible we can give the food to the homeless. But they told they have no policy to organize or get the homeless people to have a food.
Have you seen much in the changes in the numbers of people over the last couple of years that have needed services like these?
Because there's so many people, because in here nowadays the Australia is having, the rents are increasing, the electricity price is increasing, water prices increasing, and cost of living has so much increased that it is now unaffordable to rent the houses. So better, I think, because of that, the problem of the homelessness is growing.
Do you think that maybe a government initiative such as tiny home districts might be one of the potential
That's
solutions?
right, because they should come up with some of these initiatives so that at least the Australians who are going homeless, at least they have some shelter. And if they have got shelters, there might be so many organizations, they can give them food or the support if possible.
We know that the government is definitely capable of doing something like that. We saw how quickly they built those massive big, we call them safety camps or wellness camps, and that seemed to spring up almost overnight, where we could have taken care of the housing problems in Australia that quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the only problem is because now these major parties have made the government organizations as tax collectors instead of helping Australians. If they want, they can create all the infrastructure to accommodate these people. But the thing is, if they will create something for them, they are not going to give back anything.
So how do we change that culture?
The thing is, good parties need to come in the system so that they can initiate and raise these voices in the parliament so that the government will be forced to create such accommodation so that our homeless or the people who need the reasonable rates accommodation and the services can get the thing.
What do you think about the government, Liberal government's proposal to bring in 2 million more immigrants over the next 3 years?
Yeah, that's a very good initiative they should bring, but the thing is, Australia doesn't have that infrastructure to cope up. And if they are bringing such people, at the moment the people we have got the ramping ambulances in front of the hospitals, and we don't have the beds for the people. If they're getting more people, they have to increase the infrastructure first before they get these people. Otherwise, already the house rents and house prices are increased. They don't have more houses.
Isn't the government's main job to assess these facilities and see if they're meeting standards, and then understand if there's a problem like understaffing or lack of facilities in certain regions, and then take a move to increase these services before they bring in more people?
They should have done, but the thing is, they are only concerned how much tax they are getting. Instead of analyzing all these issues and get those fixed, they are concerned how to get more revenue from the visa money and other things, instead of getting the resources first for the population what they're getting from overseas.
If they're concerned about revenue, then why are they allowing companies from overseas to buy up so much of our farmland and assets when some of those assets were actually making quite a lot of money?
That's the thing, because they need money, they need stamp duty, and they are getting everybody on board. But the thing is, how much tax they are getting doesn't matter. If they are not utilizing the money properly, it's not going to help Australia or Australians.
Right. So yeah, I want to ask you as well. Now you're running for One Nation. Now, One Nation has been called a racist party. Have you noticed within the ranks of One Nation any racism?
I never faced anything like that, and even in Australia I didn't feel anything like racist. Because if you're doing good, you're performing good, you will be appreciated everywhere.
Yeah.
So shouldn't we have any problems?
It's an unusual stereotype since we have very much a give everyone a go kind of mentality.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And mainly the Pauline Hanson wants that we should not allow the people who are coming from board. Instead, they should come through the proper channels. And that should be done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, tight immigration control is a matter of national security
That's
as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what do you hope to see in this election? Do you want to see a lot more independence, or are you happy with some of the other major parties taking more seats?
Actually, I want the people should give chance to the other parties other than the Labour and Liberal, so that they can now perform and get the country better for the Australians and Australia.
So do you think that the independence is definitely the way to go?
That's the thing, because if the opportunity is given to them, they must perform better than these parties.
So what you're saying is basically the Liberal and Labour, they maybe have gotten a bit comfy, you know.
That's the thing, because they have always taken for granted that they will win, and Labour is making the holes and Liberals are keep digging that hole. Because if some policies of Labour or Liberal not working, better when the other people should come, they should stop those projects.
Now you've run in the past, haven't you? What's the Fraser Anning party?
Yes, yeah.
How did that go?
Because that time, since I came to Australia, I saw the system is not working for Australians, and I want to get into the system so that I can get the things done better. What I've seen in Dubai.
Yeah.
So in 2019, I got an opportunity to get into the Fraser Anning party. But now the Fraser Anning party is no more in Australia. So now this is the first time I think South Australia, they've got one nation and their policies are good for the Australians. So that's why I joined One Nation.
That's wonderful. And before we go, do you have any messages for our listeners at home around Australia coming up to this election?
Yeah, I think the message I want to give to the Australians, better get rid of Labour and Liberals, give chance to the other parties so that they can make some changes what the Labour and Liberals are not able to do.
Wonderful. And thank you so much for your time. And how do people contact you if they want to get any messages through or any support for you?
They can email me at Rajanvaid @yahoo.com. It's RAJANVAID @yahoo.com.
Wonderful. So send an email to show some support and spread the word. One Nation taking over South Australia, and we're going to get some basically some honesty back into the political parties around here.